This is part 2 to Ned and Ariel's podcast episode recap. Ariel talks more about how she discovered the affair and it was like she was in a fantasy world before. Before she discovered it, she had really trusted him completely. They grew up together, they got married in their early 20s. They had nothing. They had moved to LA in a car full of their stuff. They were just kids and it was all just a fantasy. She would think just, how could you do that to me and who are you? And I feel like when she would ask Ned these questions, he wouldn't really answer fully. He would just be kind of vague and say he's sorry and that he did self-destructive things. Sometimes it felt like he was gonna get into it, but then he would pull back and just be more vague. I feel like Ned is being super careful because he knows anything he says is gonna be looked at with a microscope, and there's truly no justification for what he did. But honestly, it was a tough watch seeing Ariel ask him and just be so vulnerable herself, and then see him give very PR answers. If the goal was just to address this publicly and then move forward, they didn't need to go into all of this and have Ariel be so vulnerable. But if you're gonna have a vulnerable conversation, then just straight up have that vulnerable conversation. Anyways, Ariel talks about things that helped her move on, and it's talking to people about what happened and seeing that people didn't care and that it wasn't a big deal, and making friends who truly did not care. She just wants to be herself, and she knows that it's gonna be okay and she can live in a world where this happened and people know, and also move on. Some days are really sad because she feels the loss, but other days she feels a lot of gratitude and joy for where they are now. Ed talked about feeling like he was put in a box to play a one-dimensional character as this family man, and it's hard to be a nuanced person online. He says they will not be putting their children or family in the spotlight. He doesn't want to make his real life his brand. His rock bottom was the realization that what he did was unforgivable when Ariel told him that she doesn't think that they can get past it. He didn't sleep that night. He wrote her a long letter, and that weekend he was at a wedding and they played their wedding song and he stepped away and he cried. Next things for Ariel are not being in the public eye like an influencer. She's starting her own pottery business. She loves making things in the studio by herself and not filming it and not having to tell everyone about it, and also not holding herself to a standard of beauty that people on the internet hold themselves to. She wants for both of them to be able to be authentic to themselves without judgment and grow in a way that makes them happy. Let me know what you guys think.